Is it working or not? Some stupid menu popped up.
At the moment, I cannot see the chat, and to me it's private. But it might also, that it just takes a moment for me that it now it's already it has changed the name. So let's try again, because sometimes then the actual there. Let's see.
Now it seems to be fine.
Yeah, there's the chat, and looks like
and a nice view of Shig Bird.
Mm-hmm.
And a KayKay.
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 Babaloo.
And finally, there's the chat.
Cockatoos with attitude.
No, it's gone again. Yeah, it is. Yoo-hoo! Michelle made it as the first. Great. Excellent.
We have to hand out worms now to the people who get here first. The early bird. Right, Bob? I gave you 4 pieces of wood. All I see is there's one partial left. Hi, KayKay. What are you doing up there? Snowbird? Oh, is that what it is? Snowbird? All right. Whoops, sorry. Sorry, Cecil. Sorry. Oh. Close, but no cigar.
So we've got a few chatters here already. So we've got Michelle and Dirty Birds Inc. and GTH and Falcon Sue and Lisa Banerjee. So hello all of you guys and welcome.
What's the bad angle for you? Well, that was a bad shot on my part.
Is Groupie Pip watching from the far side?
Hey, Cecil. He grabbed the frisbee from me. No, that was out of the market. Let's try this one. There you go. Ah, wow. Right back to me. Good boy.
Looks like the cockatoo of Dirty Birds Inc. Ace is getting a frisbee. And it's pretty hot there where Dirty Birds Inc. is living. It's 106. Oh my gosh, that's hot.
Yeah, that's about average lately here, but no, that was out of the mix. Let's try this one. Too high. Couple more, Snowball. Well, that one looked like it was pretty good. What's the deal, Snowball? One more catch. Come on. This is not a good move for him. Usually you throw it farther than this, but
Come on,
a little
Snowball, you
off
can get it.
You're a little off today, Snowball, because all right. That's
It's
it.
kind of an odd angle, I think.
It is. It is not a good angle for him. He actually likes you to kind of throw it across the room, but let's see if I can. Ouch, Bob, watch it. Get these back over and I can leave them. Okay, this might be better. You want to catch that? No. Just one more catch, big boy. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. It's just not.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Snowball, you can do it. There you go.
No, I was come oning because my Windows system wanted to make an update.
Oh,
Oh no. That's
mine
a
too.
death
It must be that day.
Yeah, actually not. It's just the second. Usually it's the 11th of each month they release the usual Windows update.
Well,
or I don't know, maybe I use still Windows 10, so maybe it's for 11 it's a different. Maybe
Yeah,
they
I'm
make
in
it
Windows
for
10
12.
too.
they should make it closer to the first so that the techs can use it to pay their rent. Yes. I made most of my money when those updates came out. I'd get a bunch
Oh, we
of
have a
calls.
Flappy Jazz.
Yep, clapping jazz. Yeah, Windows updates, they were a moneymaker for me. Weren't they, Cecil? You want to come over and hug some more? He's been a huggy bird today.
Oh,
Haven't you? Haven't you been a big hugger?
I see, so. You're a sweetie boy. You're a good boy, Cecil.
Mm.
What a bird.
You're a good
Well,
boy.
I've had fun over the last few days doing rodent protection. Boy, that was a pleasure. These manufactured homes have an access on one side where you can crawl under the building. That's a fairly big access under there. So the people who sold the place, they didn't cover it properly so things could get in. Looking down in there were even rabbit droppings. So I had to build I had to get a piece of plywood, cut it 56 by 33, put insulation on it so that when I sat it down on the bricks, because there's a brick piece all around it, so I had to put insulation on it. Then I had to cut some bricks to fit and get everything nice and tight and seal it all up, use cement. That was all fun. Get that done. And then I had just lots of places around the house where you can't have more than a half-inch gap. So I'm out there trying. I'm out there trying to spray foam sealant when it's 108 degrees out and the foam sealant's running down the side of the house. It says, oh, the best temperature to use it's 73 degrees. I'm like, no. But then I had to seal up the vent. The dryer vent had to be covered with a shield to keep things from getting in the dryer vent. Lots of little places that had to be covered with wire. It was fun to work in the heat. What are you saying, Cecil? You're looking at yourself? Are you? Hi, my baby. Yeah, just remember what they say. People always say that the female umbrellas are a lot more loving. Sure.
Yeah. Not at Chloe's.
No,
Now we
it's
have
just not
super cuddly boys.
Yeah, it's just not true. I mean, they're all Snowball's cuddly too. You get him by himself, and he'd let you cuddle him all day. Of course, you shouldn't do that. 5 minutes is about it, but he's a cuddly bird, and
What a sweetheart.
Mandra's another one. He's a male, but if you get him on you when there's nobody to bother him, he'll just sit there and cuddle you. So he's a big chicken, but he wouldn't come in today. He's making it about every other day now, but today, as soon as he saw me walking over, he ran into the corner. If I'd had more time, I'm tired from all this extra work I've had to do, so took a nap for half an hour with Kazi.
Oh,
She was over.
that's nice.
She was digging. She was making toothpicks, and I was sleeping. So
Yeah, she's a good girl.
yeah, she is a good girl. I wish she would just calm down a bit. I mean, the mating season is driving her nuts right now.
So we've got a few more chapters. We've got Rosebud and Coolio. So hello, you guys.
Hello. Say hello.
Cecil can say hello, can't he?
He can. Get him to do it. He does it when he feels like it.
Yeah, I never
Cecil,
heard him do it on stream.
Yeah, he does say it. Say hello. No,
Hello.
Won't say it. Hello, Cecil.
Hello, Cecil.
Hello, Cecil, my old friend. Hello, Cecil. Cecil, bird.
The cockatoo.
And KayKay is getting braver.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob's leaving him alone most of the time. I have to keep my arm over here, though, just in case Bob does one of his launch attacks. But and Pippa and Snowball.
Oh, they're good friends now, obviously.
Yeah, they get along.
Yeah. They made friends by sitting next to each other for a couple of times and then decide, yeah, the other one doesn't bother me, so no.
And we found out another interest of Pippa's apart from telecommunications. Which we were a bit surprised about.
I wouldn't expect that from her, but
yeah, Pippa she's interested in firearms. So she's a pistol packing Pippa.
Oh yeah, we had that lively discussion in our last meeting. and Pippa was fully engaged.
Yeah, we somehow got talking about various methods of self-defense, and then when we talked about pew-pews, Pippa got super excited.
Yeah, that's funny. She did too. She got all wound up.
It's the same way she gets when we talk about Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs.
Her eyes closed. I said Steve's name. There she goes. Steve shut her eyes again. That's not your name. You know that, right? You're the Pippa. Yes, I know who I am.
And Pippa loves Steve's.
Oh, and Jocelyn and Cinnamon are here, so hello, you guys.
Hello. Bob's interested in the sound he's making. What is he doing? Bob, you be nice. I don't like you turned around to look at him because you get a little defensive. Get over there. You can go down and get a piece of wood. There's plenty of it down there. But He had four blocks of wood, and they're just pieces of. I would say that's a big toothpick, though. Maybe for a bear. It's funny that birds who have beaks make toothpicks. You don't need a toothpick, do you, Bob? Really? What's up, KayKay? KayKay bird.
KayKay, he looks like he wants to come over, but there's probably not any room.
No, that was Bob. You won't come over here. Well, he will. Sometimes I'll get on the arm of the chair, but then I have to keep my arm like this over Bob, and Bob gets upset. But you going for my pocket again? Did I forget to zip it? Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
With Bob, you need a pocket with zippers. He'll destroy whatever's in your pocket. So. Fortunately, Costco has them for almost nothing.
So we've got Spirit Matter here. So hello, Spirit Matter. Got here a bit earlier today. And
Hello, Spirit Matter.
We have another chatter whose name seems to be written in Cyrillic, and I'm afraid I'm not very good at Cyrillic, but hello nonetheless.
Not too hard to read. It's phonetic, and there are no small letters. So, well, there's one letter that has what looks like a small letter in it, but it isn't. It looks like the letter BL in English, but
I mean, it's fine when you know it, but I don't know all the letters. I can do better with Greek.
I always got a kick out of when the Soviet Union, people would say the CCCP when it's actually the SSSR.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because the R for them looks like a P for us.
You have to thank Alexander the Great for that language, but it is phonetic. The only problem with Russian pronunciation is that you don't know where the accent goes. So they don't put an accent over it. You have to learn, whether you put it at the beginning of the word or the end of the word. With English, it's a lot easier because mostly you're barking. And most of the first syllable usually gets the accent. So. But in Russian, it can go either way.
I have to think about that.
But you don't have to worry about learning things like va and a because they don't exist. There are no articles, and there's no verb of being. So, that's the one that drives you nuts in most languages. Like in Spanish, you got 2 verbs of being. In Russian, you have none.
Portuguese is the same.
Yeah, that's a pain in the rear. And with Russian, you don't ever have to learn that. If you're going to say I'm a doctor.
Yes and no, it's just like with every language, you learn more about, how the way you can express yourself.
Yeah, well, there's easy and hard bits for every language, isn't there?
Yeah. You get some fairly long words in Russian, but not like in German.
I mean, we don't know if the chatter is Russian because there's other languages that use Cyrillic, so they could be something else. Bless you. Oh, bless you, Pip Pip. A little sneezy Pip Pip.
Oh.
She's not doing it as much. I've got her on meloxicam, and that seems to be whatever it is. It's some little thing inside there that's just like wiggling around, like a feather tickling inside there. But it obviously it's not something that fine that can get blown out of there. But it just tickles her and makes her sneeze. Give her an anti-inflammatory, and she doesn't do it much. But
hello.
He's a good boy.
Where are you going? Where are you going? What do you think you're doing? What are you doing? You're grabbing my ear? Are you? Why? Why are you grabbing my ear? Hmm? Hi, Cecil.
Ooh, dressed up.
Yeah, Bob, I know what you're doing. Don't do it. Pretending that he's playing with my shoe, but he's really just looking up at KayKay. You don't start it. Just play and have fun. Just
Be a good bird. Fun. Be a good Bob.
Oh, he was a good boy all of yesterday.
And Cecil is totally cute.
I must have said Bob less than 10 times. You know, I can see what you're doing. You're not fooling anybody. I can see you putting your eyes on him. That's not good. He's not doing anything. He doesn't deserve that. Bob. Stop it. Stop it.
That's just a Triton way of making friends.
With those kind of friends, you don't need enemies. No. Yes, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Little cutie pie. Oh, I've had to cut back on his peanut butter because that seems to be aggravating his. He's a lot more messy when he gets the kind of peanut butter he wants. Now he gets a tiny bit of it, and he's not too thrilled about that. Doesn't seem to affect anyone else, but of course, if it's going to affect somebody, it's going to be Bob. He still gets a little bit. Yep. And if you're noticing, she's preening and she's sneezing. So her own dust makes her sneeze.
Oh, Pip, that's very silly. Oh, some of the guys in the chat are talking about Washington State because they live there. So I looked at a map of Washington State, and apparently there's an Aberdeen in Washington State, which is kind of cool. Because I live in Aberdeen, but not in Washington.
Oh, you're a wee bit farther away from there, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty far away. They're on the west coast of the US, and I'm on the east coast of Scotland. So they're on the Pacific, and I'm on the North Sea.
The former home of one of my favorite actors.
And we have another chatter. It's Sarah here. She would like to know if all the cockatoos, if they are quiet for most of the day.
That's a good question.
Because at the moment they are very quiet.
Most of the day, like most cockatoos, if they're properly, you properly deal with them, if you make, I don't know, it's more like making agreements with them. They're usually don't make noise for more than half an hour of the day. You shouldn't say it's noise. They won't talk for more than half hour of the day. Snowball. Snowbird. Snowball. Snowbird. Bob. No. Get back down there. Or sit in my lap or something, but don't stand there and stare at him. Don't do it. Snowball. He sees me paying attention to someone else, my attention, and then he starts trying to plan his attacks. Snowball. Snowball. Snowbird? Snowball, snowbird? Snowbird.
Snowball.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, the problem with their vocalizations is that if you don't know what you're doing, you can get them to just go for hours doing it. And
yeah, scream out through the day.
Yeah, we call that screaming when they start doing that. And it's the problem of the person who has them. It's not the problem of the bird. So they start doing it, you've done something wrong. It can be something as simple as putting something in the room they're in, which is usually a living space, because cockatoos like to be around. You know, they're social animals. So you can put a couple of boxes in the living room in the corner. That happened to one lady. She stuck a couple of boxes in the corner, and her bird wouldn't shut up. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't lose. I've got to put my block. I forgot to put the little focus on. Keep those phone calls from coming in. Here we go. Are we still there? We're still working here? Oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still on.
Because quite frequently the phone call can cause trouble. But Snowball. Snowbird. Snowball. Snowbird.
Oh, Jocelyn is waiting for Cinnamon to talk.
Now, sometimes you wait a while. He might
yeah,
not.
no, there are sometimes birds who are not like what you expect from the species, like when you have a non-talkative African grey, or I don't know, a shy gala.
Yeah, most African greys don't talk. They'll make sounds. The sound of the microwave, the sound of a smoke alarm going off, the sound of a siren, sound of a chainsaw. I mean,
running water.
Running water is a popular one with them. Yeah. So don't get a bird because you want it to talk. That's for sure. With cockatiels, I would start with whistling. Just get it, go with whistle a tune.
And Warm Fuzzy Vibes has joined us. So hello, Warm Fuzzy.
Hello. Good tune for a cockatiel is like Camptown Ladies. Pippa likes whistling. So. Pippa likes
yeah, she has her own whistle.
She actually likes that. That's her little song. It's the Camptown Ladies.
That's the Pippa whistle. She made it. You made it. Now it's the Pippa whistle. Pip.
Pippa.
Yeah, there's one. Pippa. There's a cockatiel on Instagram, I think, that always goes.
There are some parrots who sing opera on YouTube.
Yeah, those are probably Amazons.
Yeah, I think so.
Amazons have they have the great operatic voices. And they do like to sing. So there was one at the San Diego Wild Animal Park, which they renamed the Safari Park. I can understand that they voted on it, but I think it's a dumb name. But they had Lola, and she sang, "I left my heart." You hear the vibrato was really fun. In San Francisco. And all of them were taught. That was the Richard Burdick and Associates from Los Angeles that do all the TV shows that ran that show at the animal park for the first 10 years or so. And then they brought in their own people and, you know, trained people. And, you know, so in other words, they could save money. Everybody tries to do that. But those shows were still good, but not quite like the professionals who do it for the movies. Another reason I preferred the professionals doing it is because they, you know, the birds got transported around. They got a lot of interaction where the birds at the in the shows, you know, they would come out and do the shows, but they didn't get much interaction in between, as far as I can tell. Could be wrong about that, but it seems like you didn't see them out playing with them outside, you know, when the shows weren't on. So, are you sure about that?
Today, the birds are really well behaved so far. KayKay is still sitting. Who's down there? Is there down there? Yes, Snowball and his frisbee.
Yeah, he'll go and play usually, but now, or since he used to do that, let's say after the first month he was here, he started wandering more and more over here. Now he likes to hang here until all the birds are out of the room, and then he'll sit and.
I think at the moment he's a little bit carefully watching what Snowball does with his frisbees and doesn't want to get into his way. Even Snowball isn't like he'll attack him with the frisbee.
I don't think he's too worried about it. I think he's interested in it, but
yeah, that's the thing. They also, when something interesting is happening, then they are just sitting and watch.
He's more alert about Bob. As you can see, he's looking over at Bob's area right now, because Bob is the one who will just haul off and go for him. You know, and he does. If I'm watching Bob, I can tell when he's about to do it. But when I'm holding the phone, I'm not watching as closely as I should be. And Bob's basically just nesting right now, but he'll turn around and look at times. What, Cecil? What, Cecil? What?
Handsome Cecil. Bob.
Cecil Jekyll.
And sometimes when someone is thinking no one is watching, secretly goes over and plays a bit. I catched her today once.
Oh, yeah, she does. Yeah. Sugar does that.
I didn't say the name, so because then she probably also knows I'm talking about her. I don't know how they know, but they know.
Hi, Shug. She's sitting over by the toy because she was playing with it earlier.
Yeah, she was playing with the toy, and then after the camera was longer on her, she stopped and pretended to be statue bird. But it's funny to see her sometimes when she sneaks over and plays. Yeah, Shuggy, we know your secret.
She actually does. She likes to play in her cage. She does quite a bit. She gets on the bottom and plays with foot toys, and she plays with the hanging toys and chews on the finger traps, and you know, she does. But when I've got the camera, boy, she does everything she can to make it look like I don't ever do anything. Hi, Snowball.
No, Snowball.
And to think he started with the lids of jars. That's how he started. And they built him up to full-size frisbees, and he just loves them. But it is a good example of why they need a big cage. You know, he's in a 4 foot by 3 foot by 6.5 foot cage now. So he'll play with frisbees. Before that, his cage was smaller and he wouldn't. He didn't show any interest. But once he got into a bigger cage, he was frisbee time. He likes me to toss them in through the bars, and then he throws them right back out at me. So I have to lay down on the bottom of the cage and grab the frisbees and stick them in there, and then he pulls them in and throws them back out. Then he'll run around on the bottom like crazy birds for a while and toss them. What, Pip Pip? Oh, what's the matter? Did you want me to pet you or something? What do you want? What do you want? Hmm?
So
Aw.
cheers for you, Don, from Michelle. Cheers for you, Don, from Michelle.
Oh, thank you. I'm just glad I'm done with that project outside. I got more projects to do though. I'm going to start teaching classes, but I have to get that room ready, and I've got someone who works at one of the local animal thrift stores. They're trying to get me some more chairs. I need to get some more chairs because I'm going to teach. I figure I can teach up to 8 people.
Or we make bring your own chair rule, but I don't think that's.
No.
How about Klappstühle?
We got enough. I've got enough parking space out there. That's the big thing. You can park 10 cars out there unless you've got somebody who's got an arthritic mind. They won't block anybody else to get out. So there's not much else you could do with the backyard, to be honest, but you could park cars there. Actually, it'd probably be a good place for solar panels, but what are you doing down there? You got another toy you're playing with now? Mm-hmm. Snowball. It looks like that's. Oh, it's his foot. Okay. It's part of a nut and bolt set, I think he's got. Yeah, it is. Hi, Bob. Hi, KayKay. KayKay bird. Yeah, the two things that these birds are mostly people relinquish these birds for is biting and screaming. Both of those are not the bird's problem. What we used to say in the computer industry when I did computer work, it kind of applies here too. You'd have to figure out a different set of letters, but we called it PEBCAC, and that's problem exists between computer chair and computer.
Yeah, I heard that one before.
And the other one is the ID10T error. If you write that out, you'll know what I'm saying. ID10T error.
Yep.
But it really does exist between the person and the bird. And this one right here, hi KayKay. I was told, oh no, watch out, he bites. And my response was, he won't bite me. And he hasn't yet.
Special.
There are some things I had to learn about him. He is probably the most voracious toy destroyer in the world. And if he runs low on toys, if he runs low on wood to chew, he gets really upset and he starts screaming. I wait until he stops screaming, which doesn't last long anymore. It used to last a long time, maybe 10 minutes. Now he'll do it for maybe 30 seconds. He'll get quiet. I'll bring him I'll make up a toy for him. I'll bring it over, usually a piece of leather with a bunch of wood stuff stuck on it. He likes loofahs too, so I'll make up a toy, throw it in, and then he'll be fine. And if he starts screaming again, well, I wait till he's quiet and bring him another toy. So when he runs out of toys, he's bored, so he screams. That's how I would look at it. But the way you look at it as a behaviorist is that when you hear the sound of screaming, if you wait until he's quiet and bring him a toy, he won't scream anymore. That's how you look at it. You don't try to analyze why per se, but you know that if you give him the toy, So he gets bored. You got to do that. You got to bring him a toy. Not while he's screaming, though. Because if you bring him a toy while he's screaming, you're reinforcing the screaming. So it's okay for him. And when I say scream, he might do it for 30 seconds or something. It's not that long. But it was 10 minutes or longer before. That's because there was no one there. His daddy was dying, so he had people coming by just throwing like wood at him and giving him medicine and leaving. And they may have spent more time. I don't know enough about that, but I know he needs time too. If I try to take him out of here, watch yourself.
Bob.
I have to put my finger around the bottom of his foot, make sure he doesn't flinch. I don't want to completely restrict him to being next to me. I just want to make sure he knows that I know what he's doing. Hi, Bob.
He's such a pleasure.
He is a good bird. He's just,
I loved it, Bob. I loved it, Bob.
Nobody gave him the affection he needed. But now with him, if I leave this room without petting him for about 15 minutes, he will act like he's going to bite. And he doesn't actually bite, but he'll like strike at you with his beak a little bit, hit you with his beak, because he expects his time in your lap. So be aware if you are working with a bird and
he looks like he's laying down.
Well, he is pretty much. He is pretty close.
Yeah. Oh my.
Chilling on the shook perch. Well, not the actual shook perch is upstairs, but.
So if you're going to do something like what I'm doing, I give him about 15 minutes after so we're out of the socialization room. Everybody else is out. Plan on that sticking forever. So you don't. I had to decide. That's what it seemed that he wanted, and I whittled it down to the least amount of time because I never know how much time I have. But he always gets his 15, so his extra 15 at the end of the time. Now, you can't give them something and take it away because they get upset. It's like taking candy from a baby, right? It just lasts a lot longer. And it's fun to sit with him anyway. I mean, I can sit here in one hand making a video or something. I haven't been making as many videos because you're doing there, Bob. Because I have cause to take out separately, and he needs separate time. And I've been working with Pippa and her sneezing problem, and just go right around everybody's got something, including this one, who she doesn't get to sit on my chest. She goes upset too. Although she is down to a third of the medicine she used to take. Romeo's down to half. So the new environment's really good for them. He's down to just about a third of the medicine he was taking. That's nice, Cecil. I'm not sure exactly why you're grabbing my ear and jumping up and down, but you having fun?
Look at him.
Mm.
Are you dancing, Cecil? That's what it looks like.
Looks like. I think we definitely could put some music on and then would fit.
I was doing that yesterday. I had music playing in here, and he was dancing. So that's probably why he's dancing today.
Dance,
I like music. I'll play you some music later, okay? I don't have anything. Well, I could use the iPad to play the music, I guess, but not while we're on YouTube, unless I use Apple's Logic to create some music. I can't play it without copyright violations. So. What? It's actually not too difficult to make music using that. But Maybe I'll come up with a few songs if I can find the time, right? Baby Cecil, you want to help me? You want to help? Do you?
Cecil.
Yeah, he was bouncing around to Leonard Cohen yesterday, so.
Oh, yeah.
Tower of Song and Democracy. Some others have a pretty good beat. But you were enjoying the dance yesterday, weren't you? Weren't you, big boy? Mm-hmm. You were. What are you gonna do? Eat my nose? Pick a smaller target, okay? You pick a smaller target. Hmm? You're a good bird. Yeah, you're a good bird.
I think Lisa would like to know how many species of cockatoos are out there.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I think there's a little less than 400 parrots in the world, but how many cockatoos?
Might be one for Wikipedia.
Yeah.
My guessing was at least about 50, but because there are so many, minor species, alone the yellow-crested are 4, and then you have all the black cockies.
Because there's umbrellas and Moluccans and Tritons and sulphurs, and there's
Palm
Goffins
cockatoo.
and palm
Well,
cockatoos.
when I read Wikipedia, right, they say 21 species, but then probably these other things are called subspecies. Yeah, depends how you count. And I think they count the cockatiel now to the cockatoos.
Yeah, it is. It's a cockatoo.
Because it's an interesting mixture. It also has features of parakeet, because in German they have a name called blah blah parakeet. So yeah, interesting.
With the scientific classifications, they change every so often if somebody does a genetic study or whatever and finds out something more.
I know that's very interesting when it comes to mushrooms or fungus, because they have been mostly classified by look so far, and now with the electron microscope and the genetic DNA tests, they actually found completely sometimes different relations between the fungus than you would suppose just from look at it. So yeah, that's definitely bringing additional results.
Yeah, the parakeet has to do with the way the beak is shaped. So a budgerigar or a Alexandrian parakeet is because of the beak. Alexandrians are big birds.
Yeah.
And they've
got parakeet has nothing to do with the size. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Just the shape of the beak.
Most people think about a budgie when they hear parakeet, but actually it's like, yeah, it's a big oval species.
You still sleeping? You're holding your phone.
Lisa's saying she will do her research. Oh, that wasn't a complaint. We just don't know ourselves.
Yeah, the book Parrots of the Wild is probably the one that you can get the most information on parrots on. It actually, it's a recent book that was published that it shows the complete tree on parrots, which includes the cockatoos, and the latest research on how they branched off. And it was quite a bit different than what they thought too. When they did the genetics, you can't just tell by the way they look. When they did the actual genetic test, it turns out that the tree is a little different. So I have that book. It's I actually have, I think I have a second copy of it. And if I do, maybe we'll do a contest and somebody can win that. But it's a great book. But
when we are already with the topic cockatoos in general, at the moment there is the Women World Cup in Australia, and today I watched a game, and there were all the time white birds flying in the stadium. So, and I was now really wondering, but couldn't find anything in the internet, if these are cockatoos flying there.
if there's food to be had, it's possible. So
yeah, in every football or soccer, yeah, there's food. Lots of people with junk food. But it's in Australia, so I don't think it's sugars and relations who coming and trying to grab what they can get.
Not sugar, no.
Oh, KayKay, so sweet. He has really a great time there. Looks like he's listening to the voices and Don talking and having a great time.
He's a sweetie boy.
But I just thought it would be funny if actually one lands on the field. Maybe one day, maybe in the final.
Yeah. They're smart and they probably know there's no food on the field, so they probably wouldn't do that. But
yeah,
more likely to try to land on, around the people in the stands and in a spot where they can beg for food. So. You looking at sugar? Are you? Okay.
Oh, she's very pretty in pink.
He probably thinks that he's in the bombardier zone now.
Not yet. Oh, has sugar come over?
Yeah. He's right over him now. So, Bob, I don't want you doing that. Come here.
Well, it's the person underneath's responsibility to move.
Well, I think she's more likely to poop on the toy. Come here. No, I don't want you doing that. I see what you're doing. Can I steal this? You want that? You don't have to play with it. I'm trying to remember the name of the one they found on that island in Indonesia. There's only one island that has them. It begins with an A. The largest it's as big or bigger than the palm cockatoo. But I'm suffering brain death. I cannot remember what it's called. There's pictures of it at the Indonesian Parrot Project online. And they've got that whole island protected now because if anything happens there, we'll lose those. They're big ones, the eaglins.
Can't believe how peaceful the flock are today.
Yeah,
So quiet.
they're just hanging out today.
It's not a peep out of them today.
Most of the time when I'm playing with them in here, they're like that. I mean, they're usually a little more active than this, but they're quiet. This is the time of day when birds take it easy. Middle of the day, that's when they take a break.
Just not the Bob. Oh, well, that's Bobbaloo taking a break, shredding wood next to Don.
Yeah, he's definitely the most physically active all the time. I mean, other birds are more active when they're going, like Cecil, but Bob's he's always on it. Aren't you, Bob? Doing something.
He must have hidden energy supply from a hidden dimension somewhere. Bob just doesn't tell us.
He must. Well, the thing too is that not anyone can just sit in a room with cockatoos. You have to learn to do it. It's and when I moved from place to place, every time something different. Like I had to rearrange the environment because they had things to play with. And they will run around and play and do all kinds of stuff in here. Later in the day when they're in here with me, they do more of that. But you see people onesie-twosie dealing with cockatoos, but to see somebody sitting in a room. And the main reason I learned to do this is because they all need to get out, and there's no way I could get them out individually during the day. I know that some rescues do that. They take a bird out, each bird out for 15 minutes or something. Well, I just don't think that's enough. So, but it's a stretch when you're first starting the project. When he first came in, you guys remember how he was running, trying to attack other birds? It was all territoriality, right? He's got a box in here. He doesn't even use it anymore most of the time because he feels comfortable in there. But not something you want to do. Put out a box for a bird unless you know what you're doing. Kind of like messing with the rod positions in an atomic reactor, putting something like that out. A box for them to play in, but it depends on the bird. And if you understand, the basic psychology, you'll never understand them completely, but the basic psychology and work with the individual bird, you can learn how to be in an environment like this. I think April did a great job coming in. She's one of the few people who was brave enough to walk into the aviary. You had a couple of nips here and there, but you walked into a fully loaded aviary. So.
And I think we not even have had to remove the Bob.
No, Bob's been good. See, I've been working with him every time, and every day I work with him, so he's less worried about having somebody over here. He will get a little bit disturbed if KayKay sits over here on this part of the chair, or he tries to sit on my lap, and I have to put my arm over him like this more. But right now, he's doing fine.
So sweet.
Bob.
Yeah, I love my Bob.
Bob, good boy. He's a good boy.
He's a special buddy.
I wonder if he knows that when he is brought out of the room, then sometimes Pippa sneaks in that corner and actually does exactly the same like the Bob does now, chewing wood and kicking her legs.
I don't think he knows that, no.
I have evidence photos. Maybe we can do a little side by side and put it on YouTube. Let's see. Bob. I've made an evidence photo.
That would be a tough quiz for the viewers. Is it Pippa or Bob?
Is it Bob or is it Pip? I even haven't had time to put it on Workplace, but I'll do. I promise.
Yeah, it's funny. They all look so different to me. I don't. Once in a while, I'll get the name wrong, like a mother does when they have 10 children. But I know who I'm looking at. I think I've only made maybe in the last year, maybe made a mistake of identification less than 5 times, and that's when you're looking at the tail end of a bird and they're walking away from you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes when they just in a really difficult position or so, then just by, when they don't move or make anything, then it's sometimes easy to tell because, well, our brains aren't made for, distinguish between individual cockatoos. But with the time, most often at the moment I think, some mistakes when to judge between KayKay and Snowball.
I feel like Snowball looks really different depending which angle you look at him from.
Yeah, definitely. But sometimes male white umbrella cockatoo, so when with no other hint, then sometimes it's just like, So when he sits like that and looks like that, I know it's a KayKay. So just from the face, and usually I also know exactly that from the Snowball. But sometimes when he sits fall behind on a cage, so I really cannot tell from the beginning if it's Snowball or if it's KayKay. Therefore, I always can say when it's the Bob. I don't know why, Bob. Probably he's a lot in focus.
No, you can't have my AirPods. Will you quit doing that? I've actually gotten my AirPod case open with the AirPods in it a couple of times while it's in my pocket. Yeah, and as soon as that opens up, I automatically switches to the AirPods. I was like, Bob. It gives it away wirelessly, doesn't it, Bob? Well, it's that time, folks. I guess that's all for today. What do you say, Bob?
Bye-bye, Bob. Bye-bye.
Becca.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Want to say goodbye, KayKay? Bob's
Bye,
better
KayKay.
to say goodbye. But he doesn't have anybody in here walking away, so he won't say it. But if somebody's walking away or going out the door, he says bye-bye.
Let's say Bob's a good boy. Bob's a good bird.
Oh no, Aaron only just got a... Hey, Aaron. We're just wrapping the stream up, but nice to see you.
Yeah, you have to work. Got to work for the, what do I say? Working for the man.
GTH says, Bob, would like a few more minutes. You're almost ready to lay.
Well, folks, we'll see you next time. That'll be next Monday. Let me see. I'll give you a last shot. Diesel bird. With his donated toy. Can you say thank you? No. You can say hi, Cecil, and hello when he feels like it. Right, Cecil? Hey, folks. Thanks, Anna Marie and Eleanor, for your help as moderators. And we're going to say bye-bye, and I'm going to play with birds. Yeah, play with birds. What we do.
Bye.